Hello and welcome, everybody. I'm happy to have you here on the Prosperous Living Podcast. And today we are going to be talking with Cory Otto. And I'm so excited to have him on board. And I'm going to turn it over to him right away so he can give you a little bit of his background, his story, what he's been through, what he's doing now, and then we can take it from there. So, Cory.
Thank you so much, Jenny. Great to be here. Thanks for having me on. So a little bit about me and my story. I'm kind of a chameleon person that I grew up with in a very kind of destructive environment, a lot of addiction and abuse, and kind of a dark place, a place from a lot of lack and scarcity. And when I went out into the world on my own, right, when I was an adult and I went out into the world on my own, I found that I was very unprepared for the ways of the world. And I mean that in multiple ways, from both a kind of having this like lack mindset that I came from, but also this inner fire. So like, I know I can do this, I can do more, I can be greater. But it was always from a place of like, I need to improve myself. I need to get better. I'm not good enough. Yeah. Right. It came from that place. So I was always chasing the approval of bosses, chasing the approval of partners, chasing the approval of friends, none of whom respected me. And I didn't respect myself. That's why they didn't respect me. So fast forward over these years, just late last year, I was sitting in my job. I was sitting in my little cubicle space in my job. And I was working in corporate risk and compliance, and I had done this job at different roles for about 10 years of my life. I was sitting there and I realized, if not now to start what I really want to do with my life, when? Right. I was sitting there and I was staring at the computer screen, blank look on my face, as you can imagine. And I was like, what am I doing? I'm 37 years old. I thought at the time, like, I have nothing to show for my life in terms of what I've wanted to create. It's all been about just chasing money, chasing validation, chasing happiness, instead of building something that could impact the lives of my community, people around me, creating community online, being in community with people like you who I respect and people who I want to be around, right? Yeah. And who want to be around me. Yeah. So
your value.
yeah. And so throughout my career journey, I finally came to this place of a little bit of clarity, a little bit of chaos too. Yeah. I blew up everything. I told my boss, I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I can't spend another moment. They tried to get me to stay for an extended period of time at that job. And I said, I cannot do it. Yeah. I have to leave. So I wrapped up the projects. I transferred my responsibilities, and then I jumped out of my corporate career with no parachute really of any kind and started launching my business. So I ended that role in January and I started my business that very same day. I incorporated my LLC, and then I started going down the journey of like, what does this look like? I hired consultants to teach me how to do things, sales specialists, lead generation specialists, in order to help me promote. And I should probably mention that I'm a transformative life coach and hypnotherapist. So I want to help people turn their pain into purpose, turn the lead of their life into gold.
I love that.
And that's what my purpose is. And that's transmutation. That's my purpose on earth, is transmutation. I've come to discover. Yeah. So jumping off that cliff, hiring all these consultants, falling for some, funnel and get rich quick schemes. And I have fallen for a couple of scams along the way as well. So I've learned a lot in these past, what is it now, 7 or 8 months? I've learned a lot in this time.
Quick.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a quick study. I'm a quick study. But I think one of the greatest lessons that I have learned in this period of time is patience.
Yes.
Because I'm a lifelong hare. I was never the tortoise, a lifelong hare I have been.
I
Chasing
love that
something,
analogy. Yes.
running from this thing to that thing, doing this course, this program, this degree, this certification. What's going to make me better, 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 right? And then I finally like stopped and I realized like I'm doing this, what I'm building with my business, Architects of Extraordinary. I'm building something that's going to last a lifetime.
Right.
This is not a get rich quick scheme that I can quickly scale to hundreds of thousands of subscribers and followers and people knocking down my door begging to work with me.
It's coming, Cory. It's coming.
It is coming,
Yes.
but only when I've got both feet in.
Exactly. Yes. And it's amazing too. I was just talking about this in a video that I will be uploading next week, but we have so many similarities through our journey, a lot of parallel things that we experienced. And when it comes to that, the patience, I like to be in control. And I had a tendency throughout my life to try to force things to happen when and how I thought that they should happen. So a huge learning curve in anybody's entrepreneurial journey is relinquishing control and allowing it to unfold. So I also have so many people that I thought were going to help me with something or this or that. And, as well, lots of learning has happened in the process, but it's good because it all brings clarity to what you don't want, the type of people you don't want to work with that are not going to help you. And it just gets you one step closer to the right people that are aligned with you and your business goals and where you're taking it. So it was a lot of, yes, money lost, I guess you could say, but in regards to learning, and it's been a good journey overall. But so what would you say so far is the most important lesson that you've learned since starting your business? Because you just dove right in. Like, how long was this idea, fermenting or like developing in the back of your mind before you just said, okay, today's the day, I'm done with my job, I'm starting my business?
Sure. Excellent question. So like for the past 15 years of my life, I've been studying the concepts of coaching and hypnotherapy and neuro-linguistic programming. I'm also a neuro-linguistic programming practitioner. And I had been studying that as my hobby in the background for many years. And I was like, when am I going to put these skills to use?
Yeah.
When am I going to put this, all that I've learned and all the pain that I have transmuted for myself, all the things that I have overcome for my own life, the best gift to give is to show other people how to do that for themselves too, how to guide people through those processes. So I would say the greatest lesson that I've learned over these past several months is that this is an adventure.
Yes.
This is an adventure. And honestly, I see it as an adventure of love. Because being an entrepreneur is not something, you can just hang out your shingle, turn the light on and say okay, welcome everybody. I'm here. I think sometimes that's what we think. And that is kind of what I thought. I'm like, well, people are just going to come in droves, aren't they? Right.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. That was a misconception that I had in the beginning as well. Yes. And coming to the realization that it is truly a journey and not a destination. I mean, that's another thing I am very guilty of. I mean, even we go on road trips, like we are going to get to be, like, that is our purpose. We are not stopping along the way. We are not taking, little detours. We are just like, you stop to go pee and gas and that is it, right? Like, it's all about getting to the destination. So this was another mindset shift for myself that I had to make, and enjoying the process and how much you're learning and growing yourself as you're helping and growing the business. Like, it really does grow together, which is really incredible because we step in with this idea that we're gonna take off, or I'm gonna have this massive growth and change, and all of these people are gonna come to you, like you said, you put the light out and it's just like these droves. But in reality, you probably couldn't handle even if that happened, right? So the universe knows based on where you are at personally and what you are able to do, and it will give you that in response, which can be hard to swallow sometimes if it's not coming as quickly as you think that it should be coming. But when you stop and take a look and really analyze for yourself, you realize that, okay, maybe I wasn't as ready as I thought I was. I wasn't ready for 100 new clients a month or whatever it might be, right? So it really will give you what you're ready for and what you can do and actually service people of a high quality rather than just trying to churn things out. But how do you see that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I see it as it's a consistent evolution. I've been on this evolutionary journey over these last several months as well. When I jumped out of corporate, I had this idea of what I believed that I wanted to do, what I wanted my business to represent, and that is not at all where I sit today or what I want to do, because what I was basing that business plan on was what I saw other people doing and how other people were being successful in their businesses. And I thought, I guess I could just copy that, mimic that, replicate it, and I'll be successful.
Yes.
Then I realized like but that doesn't light me up. That doesn't light me up. I want to be I want to be joyful in everything that I do. I want to put excitement and love into every project that I pour myself into. Otherwise, it's not worth it to me.
Yeah. I absolutely agree. And even not just the structure and how the business is going to run and the type of, I want to say treatment. Sorry. See, I still go back to my roots as a physical therapist sometimes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so not the treatment, the coaching that you're going to give and all that, basing it on other people, but then also realizing when it comes to strategies and like how you're even going to market and do all these different things, like I spent at least a full year just doing what everybody told me I was supposed to do. And I was just becoming burnt out, exhausted, and overwhelmed. And none of it really felt like it aligned. I was just doing it to go through the motions, right? Like just what other people have told me that this is what you need to do if you want your business to be successful. And I have since, through my own inner reflection, realized, what platforms do I actually enjoy where like it brings me joy and fulfillment to use and share things of value rather than just churning out stuff just for the sake of doing it, right? So have you had some similar things along your journey so far as well?
Yes, absolutely. It has been an evolution of coming to terms with the fact that I directly want to serve people with the gifts that I have and helping them overcome the challenges that they have in their relationships, in their lives, perhaps in their career, whatever thing, they want to focus on, the people that I work with, I kind of let it organically unfold from our conversation. If someone resonates with my message and they want to work with me, I enjoy working with people at many different levels and wherever they're at in their journey. They may not even see some of the things that they want to heal from are impacting or blocking the things that they really want in their life that are not unfolding because they're literally blocking them from happening, coming into reality. And so many of us, myself included, for many, many years, and I'm sure I still have blockages that I'm unaware of. We all do, right? We all do. So one of the things that I had to learn over this journey is I thought about like, hey, I could probably I'm very good at perfecting and curating and showing people like, oh, you could do it this way or you could do it this way. So I thought about focusing on helping people with their businesses, with their pitch, right? When they pitch somebody, when they get on a call with somebody, like how do they pitch that's contributing to an increase or a decrease in their conversions when they meet with someone, right? Things like that. But
Yeah.
then I realized what I really enjoy is like the work of the relationships, the self growth, and
Mhm.
like that direct healing is what I really enjoy doing. So it took me a long time, many months to kind of
Yeah.
uncover what it was that I wanted to focus on. I want to
Mhm.
help people to uncover and eliminate, I guess is the word, their survival patterns, uncover and eliminate them, and then move to the next phase of their life and
Yeah.
their evolution and their journey. So it took me a while to realize that my method, and then I came up with like an acronym. We all have to have an acronym, right?
I love it. With my military background, acronyms are insanely common.
Yeah.
Acronym for everything. What is yours?
My acronym is OWN. So
Mm,
observe, wake up, and navigate. It's very
perfect.
simple. So like
Yes.
very simple, and that can apply to many different things in life, right?
Mhm.
Um, and I'll often the hardest part is just simply taking the first step. There's
Yeah.
a lot of people will have a conversation with me and they won't really realize how things are impacting them in their life. And then I'm kind of like a spark or a fire starter within someone. So I'll give someone like a seed or a question, and they're like, they will really stop and think about
Good.
how
Mhm.
that's been impacting them in their life. And I can feel the shifts happening in people. That's one of my greatest like joys in life, is seeing when people unlock something
Yes. Yes.
within
That light
themselves.
bulb goes off and it's a connection that they never saw before. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, wow. Oh, that I
Yeah.
did not even realize that I was stopping myself there. Yeah. So at this point, now that you've done this, getting the clarity of who you want to work with and how you want to serve them, who would be your ideal client right now?
Yeah. So my ideal client is someone that has taken all of the courses, they've gone through
Mm,
programs, they probably spent 10 plus, maybe over 100,000 plus trying to discover what it
mhm,
is that they're meant for in this world,
mhm,
or how to have better relationships, how to have better conflict with people. I also specialize in conflict resolution and negotiation. So I like to work that into the work that I do, because that
mhm,
is such a huge skill set to master. But it's like it's so simple.
mhm,
So I like people who are searching, who want something a little bit greater
mhm.
in their life, but they're not sure what that is.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they're questioning, well, why do I feel stuck? Why am I trying to escape on endless vacations?
Hmm.
Right. I know a lot of people in corporate that I work with and former colleagues
Mhm.
who, they make a certain amount of money, so they are living a life of luxury in a way.
Uh-huh.
But
On
often
the outside.
I see the escapism. I see the
Mhm.
escapism. They go on vacation after vacation and they don't talk about what made them light up on that vacation. They don't talk about the joy of the experiences,
Mm.
the richness of the culture, the food. They just talk about, yeah, I went on vacation. It was cool. And then the next one and the next one. And they talk about the previous one and the next one to
Mhm.
escape, or they play video games, or they go out drinking and partying.
Mhm.
There's a lot of escapism that I see
Mhm.
in people who have kind of just given up in a way, right, on their dream, that we can all have the dream. Even just the idea of me saying, go for your dreams, right,
Yes.
is so, it's almost mocked in our
Yes.
world.
I
It's
would agree. Yes.
Yeah,
At this point, it's become almost a cliche
yeah,
that people are like, yeah, right.
yeah.
That
Not
sounds
possible.
all good.
Mhm.
but but in reality, not going to happen. I'm listening to what you're saying, and I've just started reading a book called Widen the Window. Have you heard of this one?
I have not. but I'm going to check
Okay.
it out.
I think you would enjoy it. It sounds like it really aligns with a lot of what you're talking about. And even just in the beginning, she's discussing the multitude of different ways that we experience trauma outside of what society just, categorizes as trauma as like these mass things that happen, right? These clear, huge things that people are like, yes, that's traumatic. Everything else is like, well, we should just be able to deal with it, right? Like we really just take on so many things throughout our lives that we don't properly process, I would say, which I'm sure you see, all these things like the escapism you're talking about, like going out and doing things, and it all comes out in our physical world without even realizing what it is underneath that's actually leading to that, right? So she was talking about different examples of people who, go through really intensive, they just pour themselves completely into their work and then become a complete workaholic because that is almost praised, right? Like I'm sure you saw it in the corporate world, but
Yes.
we almost hold on a pedestal people who can like withstand high amounts of stress. And you talk about how much stress you are, like it's a badge of honor or
Exactly. I was just
something.
going
So yes.
to put my little badge on.
It is. It really is. It's like I don't sleep because I work all the time, and it's like
Mhm.
people praise you for that. So I'd love to hear some of your insight on that with people you've worked with, and how you see that coming out.
Yeah, yeah. So sometimes I see it coming out in like physical ailments, right?
Yeah.
Physical ailments and sickness. Some people will be like perpetually sick or have colds all the time. And
Mhm.
sometimes I think that that is a way, almost like the body's like cry for help in a way. Like
Mhm.
slow down,
Mhm.
take some rest and just enjoy life. Go for a 3, 4 hour long walk in nature. Go sit in nature. Go read a book. Um, Step away from the technology.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that often that I see can help in a very short period of time is slowing down and
Mhm.
realizing like what beauty this life has to offer. That waking up and opening our eyes every morning to a
Mhm.
beautiful new day is a gift in and of itself.
Yeah.
Um, and how else do I see this showing up? So sometimes I'll see it, as you said, there's glorification. There's a glorification of busy, busy, busy. You ask somebody like, "Hey, how's it going?" Busy, busy, busy.
Yeah.
Like, "Oh, I got this, and I got my the play, and then we're going to Portugal, and then the surgery, and then like there's just an endless." So I think that a lot of times people are either manic or they're bored. They're manic and they're
Mm.
filling their calendar with endless things so they never have to slow down and take a real look
Yeah.
at the life and where they at their life and where it's been and the
Mhm.
trajectory of where it's going. They're never though, notice, they're never in the present moment right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Very few of us are like okay with being in the present moment right now. It's about the
Mhm.
past or it's about the future. And then the people who are bored, often they don't realize that days, weeks, months, years go by, and then they look
Mhm.
back and they're like, "What did I do with all that time?" You
I
know?
don't know. Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah, it is so interesting. I find a few things on that, like what you mentioned, and this inability to really sit and be with yourself and to go within. Like I know I had no idea how to do that. Even like, for years I would once in a while try meditating, and I was like, I could never do it. I would just sit there and I'm just like, all I would think about is what I should be doing. Like what actions should I be taking right now? What on my to-do list should I be doing instead of sitting here meditating? So
Hmm.
it's taken now. I really love my time that I get to spend in quiet reflection, but it took a long time to get there. And I think a lot of people don't even really know who they are.
Yeah.
Like kind of how you were doing, where you're going through and you're taking all these different steps and actions because that's kind of what you're told you're supposed to do. Like I went to college, and then I went to grad school, and I got my degree, and I started working in my profession, and then I just that was going to be it, right? Because that's what you're told you're supposed to do. And you just kind
Yeah.
of, like you said, that chameleon, you're just fitting into the comforts, the norms of what society expects of you. And so we don't often take the time to sit back and really think about, well, who am I? Like, who is Cory, like you've been doing? Who do I want to work with? Like, what type of life do I want to live? Not what Joe down the street says is the right life for me, but for me, actually. So it's so important to take that time. But I'm sure you find as well, this can be very challenging for people.
Yeah, it's even, I would even call it painful. I
It
would even
can be
call
at
it
first,
painful
yes.
to kind of to sit with that and realize, like, oh, I didn't make this decision. I didn't
Mm,
make the decision. I followed a boss for 10 years to
mhm,
4 different roles.
mhm,
And she always asked me, hey, I want you to come work for me. I want you to come work with me, right? Really, it was 4. Um, and because I'm very good at curating what people need me to be.
mhm.
And executing on a vision of somebody else, and just like they let go, and like they can trust me to execute on that vision.
Mhm.
But it took me a long time to like really take a step back, step out of my snow globe and look at it,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
And see, my life is not my choice. I have been choosing based on what somebody else is telling me, and then
Mhm.
getting resentful and blaming them for it.
Yep. Mhm.
When I made the choice to follow this person, not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 times to different roles. And then the 4th time is when I kind of woke up from this spell I was under,
Mhm.
and I realized, whoa, I'm I'm not happy. I felt as though I was being, taken advantage of
Yeah.
at the time. I was heavily into my kind of a victim mindset, victim mentality. I was really thinking, well, this person is horrible. What are they doing to me, right? And I'm like, but
Yes.
then in reflection, when we really peel the covers off and look under the
Mhm.
bed, we see that the monster is right here, right in the mirror.
Yes.
You know, you know.
Yes. And that can be very shocking and
Yeah.
painful, like you said at first. But once you begin to understand that, it's very empowering
Yes.
because then you can take back control. But that's not easy when we've been so conditioned and programmed to do these certain things. And I just have to mention, because when we met previously, we had talked about briefly our human design types.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's funny that you were there creating someone else's vision when, as a manifester, you're actually supposed to be the one with the vision telling the other people what to do, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No wonder I was so
Yes,
unhappy.
because you had it backwards.
Yeah, I
So
was angry. I
now,
was angry.
yes, and now you get to have the time and the reflection to see the vision that you want to create. And I can see it's just really unfolding beautifully for you now that you've had this opportunity to actually sit back and do that. So I would love to hear, before we get close to wrapping up here, a little bit more about like, what is your structure, kind of how do you work with clients? Like, how long of a process is it typically? Is there one standard way, or is it different for every individual? What would that?
Yeah, it is kind of like I see it kind of like a snowflake or a thumbprint, that
Mhm.
each person that comes to me is unique and they have their own unique challenges.
Mhm.
And yet I can see patterns. I
Yes.
can see that the conditioning that you spoke of,
Hmm.
we see how that has impacted people in different ways. Everyone's got a different kind of flavor, right? Everyone cooks differently in the kitchen. And no, even if you follow a recipe, that recipe can taste different no matter how many people, different people are cooking it in their kitchen. The essence of the person is baked within. So when I work with someone, it really took me a long time to realize that I wanted to have kind of a tiered support system.
Okay.
When I first dove into coaching and hypnotherapy, I kept hearing and learning models of like, well, you can only do high ticket sales, right? Only do high ticket, which is great. But then I kept running into individuals who wanted to work with me,
Mm-hmm.
and they couldn't afford working with me. And not that I can help everybody, but I wanted to tier my services so that I could have
Yeah.
different levels for people who could afford at a certain level up to a higher ticket level and longer term. So
Mm-hmm.
I do different packages. So my first offering is, I call it my life in focus audit. And I
Mm-hmm.
sit with a person for a couple of hours. We kind of unpack what island they're living on right now and what island they want to be living on. Is it the island that they're on, or is it the one over there in the distance and that's a mirage right now? You know?
I love that.
So that one is kind of like my entry point. And then I also have I call it my connection reset series, where I
Mm.
help people using hypnotherapy to essentially go back in time from the beginning of their life and beyond to turn that pain, the shame, the fear, the anger, the rage, the embarrassment, and guilt, those emotions that have accumulated all this time, their entire lives. We were just talking a little bit about this
Yeah.
moments ago, and
Mm.
change the story. They change the story and they remove the negative emotion that's associated with those memories, because that's how we store memories. We
Mm-hmm.
get excited, or we get afraid, or
Mm-hmm.
we get angry, and then we can all think of a memory where, like, think of a memory where you got angry in your past, like really angry, or really sad, or really
Mm-hmm.
happy, and those memories just come right back, and you can immediately remember what was happening, maybe the colors, the
Yeah.
sights, the sounds, the smells, the everything in the memory comes
Mm-hmm.
flooding. Sometimes those memories are tied to negative emotions, and they keep getting re-triggered in different scenarios. So my connection reset series is a three-part series where we go through all of those old past stuck negative emotions,
Mm-hmm.
and we eliminate the negative charge on those memories.
Mm.
And that has a very quick effect. So if I meet with somebody three times in less than a month, somebody can go from like extreme victim mentality,
Yeah.
angry at the world, nobody sees them,
Mm.
or everybody sees them.
But not in a good way.
Yeah, exactly. To like changing the way that they think about everybody in their life, having conversations with somebody that they haven't spoken to in 20, 30, 40 years, going on a trip and going diving with sharks when they wouldn't even set foot in the ocean before.
Wow.
Like, these things are absolutely possible. And so that's kind of like my next step. And then beyond that, I do more of a tailored coaching experience, from anywhere from 6 sessions to like a full year of working with me. It really depends on what the person's goals are. And I'll make a recommendation to them of what I
Yeah.
believe where we would start. Often I start with the Connection Reset series, because that's a really good foundation to
Yeah.
step foot upon the rest of one's life off of
That's
that
awesome.
springboard.
That sounds powerful. I love it. All
Yeah.
right. So, Cory, we are running out of time. So, can you share what is the best place for people to connect with you?
Yeah. I just changed my website. So now I'm simplifying everything. So I'm at bio.site/Cory Otto. And
Okay.
on there, it has my Substack. I just started my Substack, so I'm going to be adding content to that, and podcast. And my podcast is going to be what we're made of. And I want to interview
Mm.
people about their stories, like stories that transformed them, stories that awoken them, stories that they barely thought that they could get through, but they did. Stories of failure, stories of triumph. And I want to have it be based around how we how we continue to move forward with life in
Mm-hmm.
spite of the obstacles, in spite of the struggles and the fears and the hardships that we face in life. So that's what I'm building right now. I also am beginning to do like business inquiries. So I
Mm-hmm.
want to work with businesses to transform the way, coming from the corporate world, I see a desperate need for businesses at many levels, small businesses to major corporations, of how they do employee to manager relationships,
Mm.
because I see a correlation between how we're raised when we're growing up, listening to our parents and continuing that parent-child relationship into the working relationship. I see
Mm.
it plain as day everywhere I go. So I want to help organizations implement more of a synarchic or like communal
Yeah.
workplace instead of a hierarchical top-down methodology
Yeah.
where employees are rating and reviewing and evaluating their leaders at every level.
Mm.
Because in corporations, most often there's performance reviews, but it's only top-down performance
Yeah,
reviews.
you're right. Mm-hmm.
So I want to flip the script on that and have employees rating their managers. The people who are leading the organization should consistently be welcoming feedback and
Yep.
evaluation and saying, you know what? I can be kind of a jerk, you know, or that is a blind spot of mine. Let's work to change that. But right now, nobody speaks up at organizations
Right.
because there's an undertone of, well, if we're not evaluating our leaders, that must mean that nobody really cares what we think, um,
Yeah.
and so
Or
nobody will
that
speak
fear
up
that it would affect their ability to promote or raise or whatever it is. Yeah.
or get fired,
Mm-hmm.
keep their
Right.
job. Yeah.
Right.
So there's this fear, and it's all unspoken. It's all unspoken
Mm-hmm.
fear. So those are the kind of the things that I'm working on right now in my
Awesome.
area. I also on that bio.site/Cory Otto have my services sheet, which is very transparent. I believe in being completely transparent of like what I charge
Mm-hmm.
and what I do. So there's a services sheet about how I help, how this serves people, why work with me, why now,
Yeah.
um, and what we'll do together in that Life in Focus audit and the Connection Reset series and my own Your Fate coaching program.
I love it.
Um, One of the things that I would like to point out in my Own Your Fate coaching program is
Mm-hmm.
I have something called the Fearless Heart Challenge. And when I talked about swimming with sharks
Yeah.
earlier,
Mm-hmm.
one of my very favorite things to do is at the beginning of the coaching journey and working together,
Mm-hmm.
I ask the person, what's something that you've always been terrified to do or didn't have time to do, but you've always wanted to do? Is it go to see a Broadway play in
Mm-hmm.
New York City? Is it to swim with sharks? Is it jump out of an airplane? Is it to talk to your long lost sibling who you had a
Oh,
falling out with 20 years ago?
yeah.
Like, and we set that challenge at the beginning, and then by the end of the coaching together, the challenge is to do something with that, right?
Mm.
Go on
I
that
love that.
trip that you've always wanted to do. Go see Yosemite. Go talk to your sibling and
Mm-hmm.
have lunch with them. Have a phone call with them. Whatever it is, we all start at different places and have different levels of comfort. But I like doing this to I call it, what do I call it? Like those who want to test their wings, right?
Mm. Mm-hmm.
That they've been building over this coaching
Mm.
experience. So yeah, that's a little bit about what I'm working on and how to find me. And
I
I'm
love it.
excited for what's to come. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. A lot of really exciting things on the way. So, and I'm assuming that as long as we keep that link, everything will be accessible through there. So as the
Yes.
podcast builds and everything else that can be seen on that
Yes.
website. Okay, amazing. All right, so that will be in the description. So make sure that you guys go there, check it out. We'll also have you use LinkedIn and any other social media as well, so that you guys can connect with Cory. So I love it. Thank you so much, Cory. It's been such a pleasure hearing more about
Thanks,
you
Jenny.
and your journey and your business and where you're going next. A lot of exciting things to come. So thank you. I really appreciate your time. And everyone, as always, until next time, expect prosperity.